It's the Fitchburg and Leominster High School marching bands, or for those people watching in Leominster today, the Leominster and Fitchburg High School marching bands. Well done by Barry Hudson.
Nice job. To the salute to all our armed forces, and thank all those serving or have served for us.
Red Raiders have been in the locker room for a while. The Blue Devils have just gone into the locker room off to our left for some final instructions from Dave Palazzi and for Ray Kazenza. Matter of fact, I think that is Coach Kazenza outside the locker room right now, over by the clubhouse. There's some of the crowd that has gotten here early for this one. It will always be a late arriving crowd. As we watch people come down Circle Street, there's still a lot of folks coming down.
Well, yeah.
Because one of the problems is parking.
That's what I was going to mention. Is when you get here after 9:15 or so on this morning, it's a challenge to find a parking space and to get everybody in here for game time.
Well, you got to plan accordingly. You got to be here at 4 o'clock.
If you get here at 8 and park at City Hall, there's plenty of parking available.
So a couple of minutes ago, what do you see in today's game? I'll tell you that for Fitchburg, and we've covered Fitchburg all year long, they have had a problem starting the games. They've always found themselves behind, and then they come back. They haven't got the time to come back today. They got 8 less minutes to play with, and I think that's going to hurt Fitchburg.
I think it's squarely on their defense. I think their defense has to get off the field. They have to. We've seen them all year long, having trouble on third down, stopping teams and turning that ball back to the offense. I mean, the offense is what it is. They're going to. Hopefully they can score some points, but the defense is going to get Leominster off the field. They can't allow them to go up and down the field with 7-8 minute drives because that offense, Quentin Perkins is Quentin Perkins, but we're sure that Leominster is going to be chasing him all over the field this morning.
Last year, Leominster was a winner. 24-18 was the final score.
Double overtime.
Setting the series at Leominster 52, Fitchburg 46, and 7 ties. That's for the Thanksgiving meetings. The other one is different. I don't know what it is. The other one is closer to like even, isn't it?
Let me see if I can find it.
See if you can find that.
I'll try another source.
59, 58, and 10, somebody says.
Yeah, 59, 58, 10 Leominster.
Leominster has a lead?
Yep.
I go by that one.
Well, that's the all meetings.
That's the one I go by.
Yeah.
I choose to make that the official one.
Of course, the reason for that was back in the real early days, they used to play twice a year. So,
right.
That's why that's why the discrepancy between all-time meetings and Thanksgiving.
Wasn't there days when they didn't? Years where they didn't
I think there was a
play?
couple years they didn't play or 1 year they didn't play because of issues.
Issues.
How's that for a word? They didn't play. They didn't play in 1902.
Issues is correct.
1902. I think that was the only year they didn't play.
Just heard from our local historian, Fred Sullivan, about that. Yeah, issues would be the correct way to put it. One of the tough problems may be the scoreboard today because of the way that the sun is it. Maybe a little rough to read as we go on.
Yeah, that's it's always a factor here in the morning games when the sun's out. That the sun rising right to the opposite direction, right into the field, right into that scoreboard.
Of course, it's got some lights missing too, and trying to find those lights, I guess, not easy. So I know that on the restoration team, scoreboard is something that they're looking for in the future.
Well, that scoreboard is, I think we were talking this morning over breakfast, that that scoreboard, I believe, is about 23 years old, as they had to replace it after the microburst in '88, because the original scoreboard that was there got destroyed. So, yeah, it's time for a new board.
Yeah, Coach Kazenza said they really need one. They'd like to have a nice message board like the St. John's has or something like that. So, anybody out there would like to
donate a new scoreboard,
help out or donate a scoreboard? A lot of people do, businesses and so forth. That's what we're looking for here in Fitchburg. And the best thing to do would be to contact the athletic director's office. Ray Kazenza would be glad to talk to you more about it.
He can point you on the right way to the restoration committee, and we can get together and help out.
Red Raiders are coming on the field. Of course, we will be on the same side as the Red Raiders. Blue Devils will be across the way. Talking with Coach Kazenza beforehand, he had no changes to make. We asked him a couple of times if there was any changes, and he said, nope, we're ready to go.
Number 65, Jeff Bonelli. Number 66, Cedric.
Another guy to watch out for Fitchburg might be Eric Como. Como is 84. He's a big guy. You go down there and walk around before the game. Eric Como is a big dude. And a guy to watch out for.
Yeah, I remember early in the first couple games, he was very involved in the offense as a tight end. And then during the middle of the year, they switched him back to wearing number 70, where he was playing defensive and offensive line. But today, as he was the last time we were here against Holy Name, is back wearing 84, and he will play tight end to start.
We expect the coin toss and the national anthem coming your way in a moment or so. As the crowd continues. Good thing those bleachers came in, Mike, because they're pretty much full across the way here.
As expected, with Leominster on a 7-game winning streak, that they were going to show up with a large crowd. And yeah, the bleachers that were there for the last 2 years ago game would have been inefficient for the crowd they have across the way.
And you know, there's always a lot of people that stand for this game, and the people standing are see a lot of blue standing.
Yep.
Of course, that from up in the booth, off to our left. They're way back kind of pushed, whereas years ago, you know, before the micro burst, they were a lot closer to the end zone.
Well, after they built the new track, I think that
that's probably an extra 20 yards.
Change the configuration of where the standing room used to be. If you watch some of the old highlights that have been running during the last couple of months.
Captains are out at midfield. The toss of the coin. Bill Gosselin is a referee. He has been for a long time now. Leominster has won the toss.
I believe we have Bill Mike today, so we'll be able to.
Leominster will receive.
I believe Bill is Mike today, so we'll be able to keep up on what's going on.
Right. National anthem is coming up, so we'll pause for that right now.
By the combined Fitchburg High School, Leominster High School marching band. I'm going to ask people, please, to get off the railing. Find your seats and get off the railing.
Well, I've continued my time-honored tradition.
You didn't do it again, did you? How do you lose your pen during the pregame show?
I had it right here.
You could borrow mine. For Christmas, I'm going to get you a pen holder that's strapped to your wrist, so you can't on a bungee cord.
That's brutal. I just had one. Is that? Do you need this? Thank you, Fred Sullivan, to the rescue.
It's on the floor. You dropped
it. It is?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how my wife feels. I can't take me anywhere.
Did you lose your mittens a lot when you were a child?
Lost it all. Red Raiders will kick off, and it'll be Eric Como for the Red Raiders kicking off. When the Blue Devils get it, they'll be going right to left on your TV screen.
As we look across the way, the flag, pretty good, a little breeze blowing right now, and Fitchburg will have what win there is here in the first quarter.
Perfect day for this Thanksgiving football game. Line drive picked up at the 42-yard line and down at the 42 was Carl Daniel, senior. So Leominster starts off pretty good field position. 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line.
Daniel showing some pretty good hands there as he was able to catch that line drive and not have it bounce off his shoulder pads and start bobbling around on the ground for a loose ball.
Garrett Delakiai is the quarterback. He is a junior and wears number 12. And he's in a shotgun formation. Man coming in motion to the near side. Now goes the other way. Delakiai tosses that way, and it is incomplete. The pass was intended for Josh Cowett, and it goes incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Mike, it's very early in the ball game, but important for Fitchburg that they get a 3-and-out here.
A little nerves there as Cowett dropped that little swing screen pass that was set up pretty well. Leominster comes out, no huddle.
Delakiai throwing far side, and it's incomplete. Sean Addo was the intended receiver, so we've seen the Red Raiders 3rd and long a lot of times, and they've given that up. It's a real tempo setter right here if you make a stop.
Tyler Robach, good pressure in on the quarterback Delakiai, forced him to get rid of it quickly and threw that one incomplete. But yeah, 3rd and long, and it's been a kind of a bugaboo all year for Pittsburgh's defense. They haven't been able to get off the field many times when they could have.
So it'll be a 3rd down and 10 for the Blue Devils. Their own 42-yard line just underway. Delakiai gonna go back to pass. Slips a little bit. Runs to the far side. He's got a lot of room. Now he throws it long and deep, and it is incomplete. Down along the far sidelines. It was intended for Kyle Sanders, and it goes incomplete. 3-and-out. Pretty good coverage here, Mike.
Yeah, Delakiai had pretty good opportunity to throw a slip there originally, and then he rolls out to his right. And
thought he was going to run.
Yeah, I thought so too. He looked like he had some room to go. He tried to force the ball downfield, and of course, in the early morning game, looking back into the sun was Kyle Sanders. No chance to make the catch, and they'll have to kick it away.
Low snap, gets it away, slips a little bit, and the ball bounces right in the air at the 30-yard line. And that's where the Red Raiders will take over. 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line. Connell Lemieux will be quarterback, although you'll see Quentin Perkins all over the place. Another guy to watch out for is Dimitri Brazili in the Fitchburg backfield.
Well, normally we see Lemieux and Brazili in a standard formation early in the game. They try to get those guys going, and then they'll slip Perkins into the backfield for the direct snap when they think they need it.
Carter Lemieux is in there now at quarterback, shotgun formation, and a whistle.
Fitchburg timeout.
20-second timeout, Fitchburg. They're first.
As you can tell, we have Bill Goslin wired up. So you'll be hearing it straight from, I don't know. I want to stop right there.
The referee's mouth. How's that?
No, I had something
I know
else
you wanted to say something else, but they haven't thrown a flag yet, so we can't pick on it.
Had something to do with a horse, but
no, this crew, ever since this crew's taken over on Thanksgiving Day, I thought they've done a great job.
I think so too. 1st and 10, Red Raiders, their own 32-yard line. This is Brazili, end around to Perkins. Got to throw. He's got a man wide open. It's Patel. He's got it. 30, 20, 10. Touchdown. No flags. See if we can get the replay for you, but Bernie Patel was as wide open as you can get.
A
Here's
little
the
razzle-dazzle. They give it off double end around, and then it's Perkins who's going to pull up here after the defensive back commits to the run. And Patel is just wide open, 15 yards behind the nearest Leominster defensive back. And Fitchburg with a little razzle-dazzle on the first play of the game. Offensively takes a 6-0 lead.
Always an adventure, the extra point.
Well, they're going for 2. No, actually, they're going to go for 1. It's going to be Como, who did warm up kicking the extra points and was kicking well in pregame warm-ups.
Charles Doss will be holding it. Snap down, kick up, and the kick is good. So the Red Raiders come out with some razzle-dazzle, and they lead early, 7-0.
I'm going to guess that play they have been practicing for a week and a half. That was going to be their first play from scrimmage, depending where the ball was, and it couldn't have worked any better. First rendition of Mr. Touchdown this morning, and the Fitchburg faithful hope to hear that many times.
Some people still trying to get in here to Crocker Field. They missed the first touchdown. We might see a few touchdowns today.
I didn't expect a 6-0 game. Of course, every time I make a prediction about this game, it's wrong.
Yeah. Nice crowd is filled in right here.
Well, the weather helped. Both teams having winning records. I think, as you said, still people out on River Street coming down, and still a couple of people coming down Circle Street as they try to find parking.
Como will kick it off after the Fitchburg touchdown. It's another line drive that spins down to the 25-yard line. Far side 30, 35, close to the 40-yard line. Pretty good return there by, I think it was Kyle Sanders. Double check on who that is.
Yeah, I think it was Sanders 10 who picks it up after kicking it between his feet, and then he gets leveled at the end of this return. Didn't catch the number originally, but coming out of the left side of your screen, yeah, he got banged well.
So the Blue Devils 3 and out on their first series. It started from their own 42. Right now they're at their own 39. First and 10 Leominster. Delakiai back to pass. Got a man, and he's got a lot of room. That's Kevin O'Connor. 50, 45, down to the Fitchburg 44-yard line. O'Connor was brought down on the play by Nick Miles. First down, Leominster.
A little throwback screen, and watch O'Connor after he makes the catch. He cuts back right through Fitchburg, 3 Fitchburg defenders right here that they all missed. All had a shot. And once he gets around the corner, he had some pretty good running room. He picked up close to 20 yards on the play.
At the Fitchburg 43-yard line. First and 10, Blue Devils. Delakiai shotgun fakes and draws to Rivera. Rivera near side, 35 down 33. Tony O knocked him out of bounds.
Shotgun screen, then they go to the draw, and then Rivera, who breaks a tackle right here at the line of scrimmage, allows him to get around the left side and pick up almost 10 yards on the play. He's second down in less than a yard.
Place the ball at the 33-yard line. Clock says 8:13. That's unofficial to play in the first quarter. At the 33, Delakiai gives to Rivera, and Rivera plunges ahead to the 30. That'll be good enough for a Leominster first down. Good strong surge by the line, led by Ross Potvin. And it's the first down, Blue Devils.
Well, it seems like Geraldo Rivera's been playing for about 6 or 7 years here for the Blue Devils, but he's been an integral part of their offense for the last 3 years.
At the Fitchburg 30. First down and 10. Delakiai fakes the give, rolls out, tries to get away, but couldn't do it. The initial contact by the Red Raiders was Kelvin Rivera. He kind of held them up there, got some help.
Yeah, he gets him by the shirt, holds on for dear life until, I believe, Robar 56, yes, he does, comes from behind and cleans up the play.
Also Connor Lemieux over there for Fitchburg. Loss of 2 on the play. Second down and 12. Delakiai looking things over. Going to go back to pass. Fitchburg played it pretty well, but they get it to Rivera anyways, down over the 20-yard line to the 17. That'll be a first down. Fitchburg knew this was coming, Mike. They stopped.
They red screen. You mentioned they stopped, and they didn't go back into coverage, and that's why Rivera was able to get wide open. And it just runs it down the far sideline for another Leominster first down. Yeah, Fitchburg red screen, but they didn't react to where the ball was being thrown.
Right. At the 16-yard line. First and 10, Blue Devils. Delakiai taking his time. Fake handoff. Here's Rivera. Nope.
Wide open.
Got to keep it himself. Man wide open. Incomplete. Cowett was wide open in the end zone, and he just overthrew him. Faked me out pretty good.
Yeah, they faked the inside draw again to Rivera, and Cowett was wide open in the left-hand corner of the end zone. And you could see he was struggling with the sun. Even if the ball was thrown inside, he might have had trouble catching it, but the ball was thrown out of bounds. So what could have been an easy touchdown goes an incomplete pass.
Yeah, he was wide open. Second and 10 at the 16-yard line. And comes in motion to the near side. Delakiai turns and gives. Flag goes down, and with it is Orlando is the guy that had it.
I think the motion man turned upfield before the ball was snapped.
I think so, yeah. Might see that on the replay.
Now, there was no gain on the play, so I believe Fitchburg may decline this and take the down. One of our field mics just went crashing.
Mike's just hit the dirt.
Defense. Penalties decline. Third down.
One of our stand-up microphones at the Fitchburg bench just fell down. Go boom. So that'll make it third down and 10 at the 15-yard line. Delakiai looked at Dave Palazzi, shouts out instructions and goes back in the shotgun. Delakiai gives. This is Rivera down to the 10. Anthony DePrima in on the tackle for Fitchburg. That'll make it 4th and 4 from just inside the 10-yard line.
Well, I'm sure Coach Dave Palazzi knew he had 2 downs to make the first down, so he goes with the draw play as they had Fitchburg's defense spread out. And Rivera hammers it up inside for a good gain of 5-6 yards to make it a much more manageable 4th down and about 3.
Okay, 4th down and about 4 yards. Leominster first down at the 9-yard line. Delakiai gives. Nope, going to keep it himself into the end zone. Touchdown. Nice fake by Delakiai. Took it around the right side, and the Blue Devils are on the board It's now Fitchburg 7 and Leominster 6.
They faked the inside handoff, and Delici kept it on the bootleg around the right side, and Fitchburg had a shot at him at the point of attack, and they missed the tackle. And once he got by the line of scrimmage, good blocking downfield, easily into the end zone. And the Blue Devils an extra point away, or a try for 2 to take the lead.
I don't know if we'll see that replay, but
no replay.
Excellent fake. So the Blue Devils will go for 2. And this time Delici will go right over center. As a man go in motion. Fake, pass, caught in the end zone. 2-point conversion is good. Delici's pass to Kevin O'Connor. And the Blue Devils take the lead for the first time today, 8-7.
Yeah, fake inside. Kevin O'Connor gets inside the Fitchburg coverage. A throw a little bit high, but O'Connor showing some pretty good hands to catch that one home. And the Blue Devils take the lead, 8-7.
Very impressive drive by Leominster. Fitchburg scoring quickly on one play, but Blue Devils to come right back shows a little something there.
Yeah, they looked a little nervous on their first drive, but seemed to settle down there. And a couple of good passes, good runs by Rivera, and they take the lead for the first time, 8-7.
Clock is a little difficult to see today, so we'll try to help you out with it. Looks like 4:33, 4:43, something like that. It's unofficial in the first quarter. Okay. Orlana will kick off, wearing number 21. It is a little squibber that is picked up there neatly by number 65 for the Red Raiders. That's Jeff Finelli. And I don't know if he meant to do that or not.
I was just going to say the same thing. I'm not sure that's what they were trying to do with that kick.
Fitchburg's got great field position, though, as they begin. 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
Yep.
And Lemieux gets most of his snaps out of the shotgun, looking into a pretty tough sun right now. Don't know how that's going to affect things on the snaps. Well, he's going to go right over center on this play. Lemieux, 1st and 10, Fitchburg. Sends Perkins in motion. Fake give, and he didn't fake anybody out. Got flattened right at the line of scrimmage by number 78,
Jeff Chang.
Jeff Chang.
Yeah, well, you can't fake anybody if you don't have time to make the fake, as Chang just blew his way up the middle and just blew that play up in the backfield as he was all over Lemieux after he tried to give the fake handoff to Quentin Perkins.
Lost 2, 2nd down and 10.
I thought we were the foliage channel there.
I was going to say. Is that a new addition to our cable system? A foliage channel. Brazili back to the line of scrimmage on a handoff. And that'll make it 3rd and 10 now for the Red Raiders. Actually 3rd and 12.
Give to Brazili, who slipped as he tried to cut up back through the hole. Got back to the line of scrimmage.
Brazili trots off. Fitchburg gets the play. Everybody takes a look at the wrist. Perkins now in there. Shotgun. 1st and 10. Perkins got to take it himself. Comes near side. Picks up 5. Picks up about 7. He's going to be short of a 1st down by about 4 yards. Well, you think Greg Cosenza thinking about it here or what? I mean,
4th and 5. I don't see the punt team running in. Perkins kind of looking at the sideline with hands out going, well, okay, what do we run? gets the call.
Might see a timeout coming up here, Mike. I don't know. Well, I guess they're going to go for it. 4th down. Perkins going to keep it. And eludes 1 tackle, eludes 2, and stretches for a 1st down. It's across the way, so it's difficult for us to say. He made a last lunge there. It's all going to be dependent on the spot.
Looked to me like when he lunged, he was a little bit short.
He's short.
And he is short when they spot the ball. So
here's the replay. He did manage to escape a couple of people.
Yeah, one missed. Rivera misses him here. He makes another miss here. But I think it's O'Connor, 17, who finally gets a grab on him. Didn't get him around right away, but got him down just before the yard marker to bring about a half a yard short.
So the Blue Devils now have good field position. 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line. Leading 8-7. 3:12 unofficially to play in the 1st quarter here at Crocker Field. Delakiai gives to Rivera, and he is stood up and taken down immediately. Well played by Anthony Delagano. Here's Delagano, 52. Had some help from his friends there.
Robar was on the bottom, who got the initial grab around the ankles to hold him up. But as you mentioned, Delagano came in and polished off the play.
Very respectable crowd here today at Crocker Field. You know, we've been doing this for 30 years, so we've seen some pretty big crowds. Nice one today.
Yep.
Good crowd. 2nd and 10. Blue Devils, their own 44-yard line. Delakiai back to pass after the draw fake, and it is incomplete.
I don't think it would have counted anyway. I see the official's hat on the sideline. That means O'Connor stepped out of bounds.
Yeah, he went out of bounds.
We won't pick up that part on the replay. We'll pick it up toward the end. But had this pass been completed, it would not have counted. You see O'Connor's already out of bounds there.
Yeah. It's the first time we've got a chance to see Leominster this year, and I've been very impressed with Delakiai's fakes. He puts on a pretty good fake.
Well, their offense is certainly different than the offense we've seen over the last many years. I think they've thrown more passes this morning than we've seen in some Leominster games total. And we're only in the 1st quarter.
3rd and 10, Blue Devils. Their own 44-yard line. Delakiai back to pass. Rolling out far side. Still looking to throw. Fires. And it is incomplete. They say that Cowett caught it, but he was out of bounds.
There is a flag down, however, at the Fitchburg 40-yard line, which usually is against the defense.
Usually.
Unless the offensive receiver pushed
Holding.
off.
Number 3 of the defense. 10 yards from the previous spot. Automatic. 1st down.
The first tough penalty of the morning on a 3rd and 10. And a defensive holding call, and the Blue Devils will keep control of the ball.
Well, you are asking a lot of your defensive backs to cover that long when you give Delakiai that much time in the pocket and then let him roll out. It's really hard to cover guys running all over the place.
Delakiai has shown a lot of patience. A couple of times he could have run the ball, but stopped short of the line and threw it instead.
He's had a good awareness where the line of scrimmage is. 1st
down play. This is Rivera, and Rivera cuts down to about the 42. On the tackle for Fitchburg was Eric Miles, who's had an outstanding year for the Red Raiders, a senior linebacker. Also had some help over there from 52, and that's Anthony Delagano. Gain of about 3 on the play, 2nd down and 7. At the Red Raider 43-yard line. I formation behind Delakiai. And they give it off, and still staying on his feet, but finally brought down. Thought he was going to slip away there, Mike, was Shane O'Donnell. Nice play by the Fitchburg defense. Here it is.
Pittsburgh's had some pretty good defensive penetration early in the game, something they struggled with earlier in the season.
Tony Oath
with the last defensive player in there.
Well, here we are, a third down and about 7. I would think 2 for maybe Dave Palazzi, two down situation.
Well, if he's 3rd and 7, he may try to punt and pin Fitchburg, play field position.
Well, it'd be a lot easier if he just picked up 7 here. 3rd down and 7. Blue Devils and whistles, and Leominster will take a timeout.
20-second timeout. Leominster, their first.
Goose Goslin, Bill Goslin, the referee today. And as Mike said, they've been doing this game for a while. And used to be they got referees from other parts of the state to do the game. This crew, I think, has done a very good job for all the years they've had.
I remember back in I think it was the late 70s and the first part of the 80s when they had college guys come in and it was a flag fest.
Yeah.
Those guys really thought they were the star of the show.
Yeah. So the Blue Devils have a 3rd down and 7 at the Fitchburg 42-yard line. Delakiai back to pass, has time, still has time. Now he dumps it off, and it's caught by Rivera. And Rivera goes right down the sidelines. Makes a beautiful move at the 20-yard line, 15. And finally down at the 13-yard line.
And the Fitchburg coaching staff is incensed because they're looking for an illegal man downfield. Now watch when the catch is made. Number 67 is standing right next to the guy that catches the football. They let Delakiai, who avoids the cover. Now watch the catch. There's 67 right there, which is obvious. And 50, who was also down the field. That was... I mean, Ray Cosenza's out to the hash marks, and I don't blame him.
I don't blame him.
And then replay confirms what we...
Period. That is the end of the first period.
Well, you know, Coach can see, or he's got people upstairs, and I'm sure the guys upstairs are saying, hey, there were 2 guys way downfield, and they missed it. Plain and simply, they missed it. I don't know what a referee can say. They can't tell Coach that.
Well, all you can do as an official say, I didn't see it.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't say I saw it and didn't throw the flag. I mean, I saw it right away. But normally what happens when you see the quarterback scrambling for that long, that those offensive linemen aren't going to hold that spot.
Right.
They're working their way downfield because the original play was a screen pass. And Fitchburg did a nice job of diagnosing it and taking that away from Delakiai. And those offensive linemen had already worked their way downfield for the screen pass.
Do the guys in the truck still have that? Do you still have that play, John? Can we see that in instant replay? Gone? Yeah, only in that, you know, it was a great, I don't think he intended this to go to Rivera, just kind of fell out.
The original play was a screen. You watch Rivera here, who was going for the screen pass. You watch him roll out of the screen. Now after Delakiai dances around, Rivera found a hole, but there's 67, and if you watch, here comes 50 right there with the block. Another illegal guy downfield.
I mean, I don't want to take away from Rivera's play. He made some beautiful moves. But
I mean, that's such a change because that's a penalty, and they would have brought up a punt.
Well, it is what it is, and the Blue Devils have a 1st and 10 down deep in Fitchburg territory. The give is Rivera, straight up the middle, 10-yard line, still plowing to the 5 and down to about the 2. Goes Rivera. A lot of pushing going around down there as a 1st down. Leominster. And now they'll put the ball down around about the 3-yard line, Mike.
1st and goal. It's another tough run by Rivera.
Very impressive beginning of the game for number 1 on the Leominster team. At the 3-yard line, Delakiai gives. Flag is down.
It's on motion in the backfield for Leominster. Flag comes flying out of the referee's pocket.
No touchdown indicated as the bodies continue to get up here.
On the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
It's not going to make up for the one missed earlier. Coach Cosenza would have loved to have that.
Well, you can't use it. I mean, that's gone. Now you have to just play. You have to, you know.
So it moves the Blue Devils back 5. And it will be first down and goal from the 7.
We get our first aeroplane banner of the morning flying over Crocker Field.
I think Dave Palazzi took a timeout.
Timeout.
Yep.
Leominster. Second.
Yes, he did.
So the Blue Devils take a timeout, maybe to give number 1 a little rest here.
Settle things down.
If you just tuned in, Fitchburg scored first on a razzle-dazzle play. Got the extra point, giving them a 7-0 lead. But the Blue Devils came right back. 2-point conversion was good, and they lead by a point deep in Fitchburg territory. At the 8-yard line, Delakiai. This is Rivera up the middle in touchdown. Geraldo Rivera. Flag goes down late. Didn't see what happened afterwards.
Well, it was a little skirmish after the touchdown. I think that's going to be after the touchdown. Yeah, it is a dead ball foul. It's going to be on the Blue Devils, so they will assess that on the kickoff.
Dead ball, personal foul, number 50 on Leominster. The 15-yard penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. Touchdown.
Usually the official doesn't give the egregious party during high school games, but he did that time. As Rivera here on the replay had a big hole up the middle, and he just ran right over Tony Okakiko at the goal line. And
keep it going, guys.
As it goes here, watch a little kick.
Ooh, jeez.
Little kick.
Not good.
You know, that's borderline of getting kicked out.
Well, here's a question. Why didn't you? You threw the flag.
Well,
you must have saw the kick.
It wasn't. I don't think it was a vicious kick. It was
not too bright.
No.
Blue Devils go for 2. Pass end zone, and it's knocked down. Flag is down, though, on the far side. Away from the play. This might be interesting.
Receiver downfield, number 17 of the offense.
Oh, man. A little late.
I could hear the coaching staff of Fitchburg with that one.
How much downfield do you have to be on a 2-point conversion?
The ball's on the 3-yard line. How can
Oh, man. Whoops.
Well, I'm going to guess because he's actually an eligible number, but he was probably covered, so he was ineligible to go downfield, and he wasn't even in the play. So that won't make up for the the really big miss that kept that Leominster drive alive and led to the touchdown.
And he's steamed. He's still steamed. A long time after it happened, he's still steamed.
You know, we've covered a lot of Ray Cosenza football games. I don't think I've ever seen him go out past the hash marks to complain about a call.
No. Nope. So the big play here was that the 2-point conversion is no good, and that makes it 14-7. Leominster still within striking zone for the Red Raiders, and because the Blue Devils lost their cool here, they're going to have to kick off from 25-yard line.
So Fitchburg, who's had excellent field position after the last Leominster kickoff, it could do nothing with it. Should come out of this one with pretty good field position.
So after the Leominster touchdown, they will kick it off. And a slip and a little bobble, a little scrum down to the 50-yard line, and the Red Raiders pick it up, go about 5 yards.
I think that was Nick Miles, I think. Number 10.
It was Nick Miles, 10? Okay.
I think so, yeah. Well, the kicker gets slipped.
He did slip. Well, Fitchburg, great field position in Leominster territory at the 45-yard line, marked at the 44-yard line, as the Red Raiders go out here on offense.
Well, you like to see him take advantage or at least get a couple of first downs to keep that defense at rest. They've been out on the field most of the first half, excuse me.
Perkins in the shotgun. Perkins going to keep it himself, slipped a little bit. Gets over the 45, down to about the 43. Maybe a gain of a yard, and in between the hash marks, you've seen some players slip a little bit here.
Well, we did mention there was some frost on the field when we got here, and of course that has melted, so there's still some moisture sitting up on top of that grass. And we did have pretty good rain yesterday, so the field isn't in fast condition, so there are some slippery spots.
Clock continuing to run. 8:17 remaining in the first half. Lemieux now in at quarterback, goes back to pass, has a lot of time. Dumps it off to Como, got it. Near side, 40-yard line, and tumbles out of bounds at the 37-yard line. Needed to get to the 34 for a first. So the Red Raiders will have a third down play coming up.
Play took a long time to develop, and Leominster read that attempted screen right away. You saw all their defensive linemen practically stop. But Como able to slip it into an open area and pick up some yards on that play.
Third down at about 3. Here's Perkins, far side. Got a first down over the 30, down to about the 28-yard line. 5 Leominster players gang tackling Perkins. And here's the replay.
Thought he might cut this to the outside, but decides to plant and go inside. Breaks a couple of tackles early, finally gets gang tackled by most of the Leominster defense, but not until he picked up a much-needed Red Raider first down.
Sean Ventura in on the tackle for Leominster High School. First and 10, Fitchburg, low snap. They give it off to Perkins, who is tripped at the line of scrimmage. Nice play defensively by Ryan Moran, the senior.
As you mentioned, low snap, messed the timing up a little bit to Brazili.
That was Brazili, pardon me.
Good penetration by the middle of that defensive Leominster line. And Brazili really had nowhere to go.
Moran made a nice tackle.
20-second timeout. Leominster. Second charge, timeout.
Second timeout. To continue to look around the crowd. Nice crowd at the end zone off to our left and off to the right too. Mr. Cucchiera in the out there.
Got a pretty good line working over there at the concession stand.
Working with the hot chocolate and the coffee today. All the proceeds going to the Fitchburg band.
And he'll change his hat tomorrow and start wrapping presents for him.
Second down play coming your way. Lemieux back to pass. Has some time. Throws it long, deep down the middle. He's got a man, and it is caught by Como. Touchdown. Beautiful pass. Como bobbled it a little bit, but brought it back in. And the Red Raiders now trail by just a point.
Well, Como running right down the middle of the field, and we said the sun going this way, looking back into it, tough for receivers. And Como was wide open. Lemieux delivered it right on the 8 and the 4. And watch the juggling act here. Is 1, 2, 3, 4, and he finally gathers it in for the Red Raider touchdown.
Nice pass by Carter Lemieux. I mean, you said it. He put it right on the numbers. See if Fitchburg goes for 1 to tie the game, or a 2-point play.
They go for the 1.
Como will attempt the extra point. Doss will hold. The snap is down. The kick is up. Got plenty of distance, and it is true. The kick is good. And the score now stands Leominster 14 and Fitchburg 14. There is Coach Cosenza on the sidelines. A little happier now. And we got a tie ball game, 14. As you said earlier, you didn't think it would be a 6-6 game, so I thought we'd see some points, and we're going to see some points. 6:36 remaining first half. And here we are tied at 14. Fitchburg will kick off. This time Como will not kick off. Got a different kicker in there. It's an end over end kick picked up by number 41 and gang tackled. That was Shane O'Donnell. Good coverage by the Red Raiders. In on the tackle for Fitchburg was Tommy Duong, number 53. At the 38-yard line, that is where the Blue Devils will start. That's their own 38-yard line. At the 38-yard line, Delakiai kind of looking things over. Go back to pass. In trouble, steps up, in big trouble, and sacked. Back at the 31-yard line, Eric Como, who has had an interesting couple of minutes and who we talked a little bit about on the pregame show, makes the tackle.
I'll give credit to the secondary because they gave Delakiai no place to throw the football. You saw him looking downfield, looking both sides, nobody open. And then Como came in for the sack. So credit that to Red Raiders secondary with some great coverage on that first down play.
Big loss of yardage on the play, about 7 yards. Let's make it 2nd and 17. Delakiai, fake give, fake draw, throws it long and deep. It is incomplete. Kyle Sanders was the intended receiver. Delakiai put it right there, and Sanders had about a 3-step lead on the defense, but couldn't haul it in.
Sanders running a deep post, and if you watch the end of the play, it looked like the Fitchburg safety was going to make an interception, but he misreads the ball in the air, and it sails over his head and hits Sanders right in stride, hit him right in the hands, and he couldn't bring it in.
Beautiful pass by Delakiai. Put it right there for him. Couldn't haul it in. Here's a big 3rd and 17.
No, that's a missed opportunity for the Blue Devils there. That's a perfect throw by Delakiai. And Sanders had run a nice route, just couldn't make the catch.
She's about 3rd and 16. Got to get up to the 48-yard line for a first down. A passing situation for Garrett Delakiai. Now he switches Rivera, switches sides with him. Delakiai back to pass. Has time, throws. It is batted around, incomplete. There were 4 red shirts there. Delakiai almost got it in there, Mike, but it goes incomplete.
Yeah, he really forced the ball down the middle into coverage, and the Fitchburg secondary, as you said, everybody around the pad. Quentin Perkins able to get his hand up and knock that one away.
So a nice defensive set there by Fitchburg. And we've got a kick coming up, a punt. Perkins back to receive it. Good high kick away from Perkins, bounces 40-yard line. Leominster bounce to the 35. And that's where the Red Raiders will start 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Welcome back to a lot of folks who have come back in the area for class reunions and Thanksgiving. I know I have our 35th reunion coming up
Boy,
this
you're
weekend.
getting old.
Class of 76 meeting. Look forward to seeing everybody. The Leominster Elks stop on by. 35. Holy cow. See how the Red Raiders start here. Looks like Perkins in the backfield. It is. At the 35-yard line, Perkins coming near side. Needs a block. Gets up to the 40. 45 and dragged out of bounds at midfield. That'll be a first down in Leominster territory at the 48-yard line. Blue Devils are going to take a timeout, Mike.
Yep.
Timeout. Leominster.
Runs left, kind of slips in the backfield.
Timeout in the first half.
Breaks another tackle along the sideline, spins, breaks another tackle. You know, it's just amazing. You know when he's in shotgun, he's going to run the ball most of the time, and they somehow still able to gain yardage almost every time he carries the ball.
The coaching staff at Leominster didn't like that at all and took a timeout and telling their defense a thing or two, to put it mildly.
Well, you know, I mean, they've scouted Fitchburg. They know what Quentin Perkins brings to the table, and I'm sure they've practiced trying to stop that formation for weeks. That was a pretty big gain on first down on a pretty basic sweep.
Well, he's such a big part of the game. I mean, last year, you know, got hit, had a concussion, mild concussion, came back to play, probably shouldn't have, wasn't the same. That's how much he affects a ball game.
Right.
We've seen it all year.
I mean, it's pretty much been for most games this year, as Quentin Perkins goes, so does the Red Raiders.
First and 10 Fitchburg at the Leominster 48-yard line. Perkins going to go right side. Trying to get around, fumble, the ball is loose. It's picked up, 40-yard line, 30, 20, 10, touchdown. And a late flag. That's going to go against Fitchburg. That's Jason Valera. If that was 85, that was Valera. We'll see on the replay, but I believe it was 85 Valera.
Perkins trying to sweep to his right, and as he gets around the corner, somebody reaches in. 26 pokes the ball out, and then makes a great play by holding Perkins away from the ball.
56 on the defense. 15 yards will be assessed on the kickoff.
So it was Brandon Herrick, 26, who caused the fumble, and then he held Perkins away from recovering his own fumble, and that led to the return by Valera to really silence this Red Raider crowd.
And a late hit, too, in the end zone. Very, very clearly means that Leominster will kick from a little closer here. Not the prettiest extra point you'd ever want to see, but the extra point is good. And Leominster now leads 21-14. And they'll kick it off a little bit closer with the penalty here for a sloppy play after the touchdown.
Yeah, that extra point, Bailey made it over the crossbar, but it doesn't. They don't draw pictures. They just put the point up on the board.
But it was a nice, it was a great play. Did you get who punched the ball out?
26. It was Herrick who punched the ball and also made the play by holding Perkins from recovering the fumble.
Yeah, he made the play. It was a great play. And Valera just picked it up. Instead of pouncing on it, he had time to pick it up.
Yeah, he was. I mean, after Perkins was really the only red shirt in the area. So instead of kicking off on their own 40, the Blue Devils will kick off at the Fitchburg 45.
Right.
And I would expect that they may try an onside kick here.
I would think now might be a good time for one.
You know, although Fitchburg knows it's coming, you're not losing really anything by trying it.
No, I mean, you kick it away, you go 10 yards.
Well, they haven't exactly
falls on it.
They haven't exactly boomed it away on their last two kickoffs. So,
well, I would expect to see it. Coach Kazenza expects it too, because
you got the Good Hands team up.
Got all low numbers up there. So the Red Raiders expecting an onside kick, and they kick it away. But before they do, nice catch by Billy Goslin.
Billy Goslin back there in deep coverage.
Well done. But before they could kick it off, there was a whistle. I don't know if there was a timeout called or if the referees weren't ready yet. I don't think there was a timeout there.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the whistle sounded.
I think maybe the referees weren't ready yet.
Now, he kicked it off there, kicked it deep, but I wouldn't
I think
put it past the Leominster coaching staff to come back with the onside kick now.
I think you saw Dave Palazzi go out and I think he told them, kick it outside. Now he's still yelling instructions to him. Now he's pointing, kick it away. We'll see what happens. He does kick it away. End over end. 5-yard line. Up to the 10. Up to the 15-yard line for the Red Raiders. Let's see who that was. It was Josh Jennis, pardon me. And Jennis brings it up to about the 17-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 Fitchburg.
Well, 4:46 unofficially. The Red Raiders have plenty of timeouts, and they also will receive the second half kickoff.
But I think that fumble took you mentioned a lot of air out of the Fitchburg crowd. It's very quiet now.
Yeah, after that good defensive stand, they had after the first down by Perkins, looked like they had all the momentum and we're going to drive in for the go-ahead touchdown.
Lemieux at quarterback, low snap, back to pass. Has time, rolls out near side. Flag goes down, and Lemieux goes out of bounds about the 25-yard line, but I think this one's coming back.
We got holding in the offensive
Holding.
backfield.
55 offense. Half the distance to the goal. Replay first down.
I don't know if we'll catch the hold since Bill gave away the offending player. Yeah, there's a tackle right there. Yeah. That's holding. So Lemieux scrambles out to the near sideline, but as you mentioned, that'll come back half the distance to the goal. And it'll be 1st down at about 18 for the Red Raiders.
But Fitchburg's got to watch out here.
Yeah, well, now you're putting yourself in a big hole, and if you can't pick up a 1st down here, you're going to have to punt it away and give Leominster good field position with still plenty of time left here in the first half.
Looks like they're going to put it about the 10-yard line, where it will be a 1st down play for the Red Raiders. Lemieux, draw play. This is Brazili. Brazili gets up to about the 13. Well, there's a pretty big hole there for Brazili. Leominster closed it pretty quickly, though.
Well, Fitchburg had a spread offense as usual. They had 4 wide receivers in, so not a lot of. They only got the 5 interior linemen to block on that running play.
2nd down and about 15. Lemieux back to pass. Has time. Throws. Ooh. Almost intercepted. It went right in the hands of Valera. And it goes incomplete. I don't know who he was looking for, but it went right to Valera. And he could have been a Thanksgiving Day hero here because he could have gone again for a touchdown.
Obviously, Lemieux didn't see him back in coverage because he hit him right in between the 8 and the 5. And he was probably looking at a green grass where he just visited a little while ago at that fumble return. And just dropped it.
It's a break for Fitchburg. Fitchburg still trying to get everybody on the same page here. Lemieux, shotgun. Lemieux gives it off to Brazili. And Brazili gets up to about the 17-yard line. I think Coach just wanted some yardage to kick it out there. So Red Raiders are expected to boot it out.
Put back on his defense, though, who's played pretty well here in the first half, but the penalty and the leads to the 4th down situation, and Quentin Perkins, he'll have to kick it away.
Perkins will kick it. Good snap. Perkins gets it away. It's a high kick. Fair catch signaled at the 46-yard line, and that's where the Blue Devils will take over. Kyle Sanders making the fair catch. So the Blue Devils lead by 7. 2:46 to play unofficially, first half. And they've got the ball in Fitchburg territory, so big couple of minutes coming up here.
And Leominster's used a bunch of timeouts. They only have 1 or 2 left.
You got that, guys? The timeouts? Asking our friends in the truck.
Okay.
There it is, yeah. They got one left. And Coach Palazzi would have liked to have a couple of those.
Well, they gave you 5. Five's too many already.
Delakiai passes, caught on the far side to Sanders. Ooh. Sanders is whacked by 51, and we've seen a lot of that during the year from Eric Miles. Was it Como? I thought it was Miles.
I thought it was Miles also, but we won't have a second look, but it's
whistle.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Yeah, I thought it was 51 that got him there. Doesn't matter because it goes incomplete. It goes to the 42-yard line, where it will be second down and 5. That was a 2-minute warning, as you heard Bill Gosselin.
Straight up to go here.
Second and 5 at the Fitchburg 42. Delakiai back to pass. Throws near side, caught. That's Rivera, near sideline, 20-yard line. And down at the 15-yard line, there is a flag down back at the 45-yard line.
Looks like it's coming back.
Wow, 55 on the defense. Half the distance to the ball, the end of the run. First down.
He signaled the wrong way at first. He signaled, actually it wasn't Bill Gosselin, it was Delakiai signaled that it was going to go against them, but it wasn't.
The way the Leominster coaching staff was out on the field yelling, I thought for sure that was against the Blue Devils. But Rivera, nice job finishing off the run here after the catch. And where they spot the ball, they move it half the distance to the goal to on the Fitchburg penalty. So it'll be first and goal Leominster at the Red Raider 8-yard line.
So a couple of big mistakes have hurt the Red Raiders late in this one. At the 8-yard line. First down and goal. This is Rivera. Nice tackle by the Red Raiders. Anthony DePrima, 34. Tried to go around the far side, and DePrima made a nice tackle.
Yeah, tries to bounce it to the outside, and if he gets around DePrima, he may score, but a nice tackle by the shoe tops by Anthony DePrima, actually for a loss. Back to the 10.
Cabrera was also over there on the play for Fitchburg. It brings up a second down and goal at about the 10-yard line. Delakiai back to pass, has time, throws, end zone, and he overthrew his man. Almost a late hit there by Fitchburg.
Pretty close. If we in the NFL, that definitely would have been a flag, but Delakiai had all kinds of time to sit back there and survey the situation in the end zone. Just couldn't find anybody open. Again, great coverage by the Red Raider secondary.
That brings up a third and goal from the 10. For the most part, Delakiai has had great time to sit back there and look things over.
Yeah, and when he's had the ability to get around some of the pressure too, to get to the outside.
At the Fitchburg 10, Delakiai gives Rivera to the 5, pushes ahead to about the 3. Fitchburg Adams stood up there, Mike, at the 5, and Pyle went forward for another yard. So it's a fourth and goal from about the 3.
Yeah, they couldn't bring him down, and then the last couple of Red Raider tackles came from behind and actually pushed him forward for another yard and a half. So
this may be the play of the game.
Huge play for the Red Raider defense here.
at the 3-yard line. And a whistle, and that'll be a Fitchburg timeout.
Timeout, Fitchburg. They're second in the first half.
Okay, so Ray Cosenza wants to get his team together, and I'm sure the coaches have an anticipation on where they might go with this. But Fitchburg stops them here. You got a 7-point game going at halftime. They don't. You got your 2 touchdowns down.
Yeah, it's a huge difference. Obviously, not to state the obvious, but mentally, 2 scores down or 1 score down. Plus, if you make a big stop on the goal line right before the half, gives you that momentum coming out for the second half.
At halftime, I think we've got some interviews lined up, and we're going to hear from the bands and all that kind of stuff for you at the half. It's a long way in the ball game. A lot of time left in this ball game, but as you said earlier, this might be the play of the game. At the 3-yard line, Delakiai fakes, and they didn't make it. They faked it to Rivera, and they could not get it in. Let's see if we have a replay here. Who made the play defensively?
Well, that was the area on the field that had the most frost. The Delakiai, after he made the fake and tried to cut it back to his left, you saw his feet just kind of slip out from underneath him. And a huge play by the Fitchburg defense to get out of this first half, trailing only 21-14.
And they got the ball to begin the second half.
Yep.
I think it was actually Perkins that fell on Delakiai. Now Fitchburg's got to be careful just to maybe.
Well, I would assume they're just going to kneel down here about the rest of the time, which looks like about 8 seconds left on the scoreboard clock.
And I think it would just take a knee, and that would do it. Lemieux takes the knee, and that should do it for the first half. That's the end of the first half. Very entertaining first half on Thanksgiving Day. At the half, Leominster High School 21 and Fitchburg High School 14. Halftime stuff, guys, here. Well, we can make it up for you. Oh, Dave.
Okay.
Okay, you'll let us know when that is to happen, and I will throw it to Mr. Spence at some time.
I see Dave down there frantically waving for his guest to arrive.
Well, pretty good first half.
Very entertaining. Up and down the field we went. A couple of big momentum changes. And should be a heck of a second half if it's anything like the first half.
All right. I believe we're ready to go to Dave Spence shortly with Dave Rogers at Workers Credit Union. Here's Dave Spence with Dave Rogers.
Well, we talk about traditions, Thanksgiving Day, and of course Fitchburg and Leominster right at the top. We've got a great game going here, but part of our tradition here at Fitchburg Access Television is we get to chat with somebody from Workers Credit Union, and 2 years in a row now, Dave Rogers joins us.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. It's awfully nice to be here. What a great day.
Oh, it's a perfect day, and of course the game is great too. I hope you realize that this is a tremendous concession on my part, wearing the Workers Credit Union hat. Not because it's Workers Credit Union, but I don't do hats.
I see. Well, we certainly appreciate it. On behalf of the 67,000 members like yourself, we say thank you. Thank you.
How about this game? This is
unbelievable.
Yeah.
What a great day. You know, what a great tradition. And it's great to see so many people, so many young people and families and friends. And it's amazing the tradition and all of the camaraderie that comes from this.
Give us a little insight into Workers Credit Union's relationship with Fitchburg Access TV.
Well, we have a great relationship. We're happy to support Fitchburg Access TV as we have for many years, because it's one way of giving back to the community. And you guys do such a great job, so it's really easy for us to support that and make sure that you continue and perpetuate what you're doing.
You didn't have to park in Ashby.
No, I didn't. Last year I did, but I was really lucky. I got a great parking space, and it was super, so I didn't have to go. And God knows I don't need the exercise, right?
What are some of the things that we can look forward to in the near future from Workers Credit Union?
Well, you'll see continued growth and continued stability. And probably most important, from my perspective, being the Senior Vice President in charge of Community and Government Affairs, is give back to the communities. We have an ongoing commitment to do what we can whenever we can for as long as we can for the community. So from Acton to Orange and every place in between, we try to participate and make sure that we give back to the community and to the membership that we serve.
Dave, we always appreciate Workers Credit Union's participation with FATV, and we look forward to many more years.
Well, thank you so much. It's our pleasure. And again, as I said, on behalf of the 67,000 members, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and thank you for the opportunity to give back to this wonderful community.
Great.
Thanks, Dave.
Dave Rogers, Senior Vice President at Workers Credit Union, and it's my pleasure now to pass the microphone off to Stephanie Sandrelli.
Thank you, Dave. Hi, I'm here with State Rep Steve DiNatale and his son Marcus DiNatale. Now, you're here and you went to St. Bernard's High School.
I certainly did.
Now, how did that change over to becoming a Fitchburg High School fan?
I was born and raised in Leominster, but I ended up at St. Bernard's. And then, when I got married, I moved to Fitchburg, and it's been almost 40 years I've been living here in Fitchburg. And both my children, Alexandra and Marcus, attended Fitchburg Public Schools, particularly Fitchburg High School, and that's where we got involved.
Oh, thank you very much. Now we're going to talk to Marcus here. You just won City Councilman for the 4th year straight, and you were on the 12-0 team for Fitchburg High School. What's your story with Fitchburg High School?
It's all about community pride and being a part of something that's larger than a team. It's a family, really, and I remember back in my senior year how good we meshed together, how many years we played together, and it's all about understanding that there's no I in team. And, you know, the turkey tastes a lot better every Thanksgiving, whether you play or not, if we, when we win, which we will win today. So go Raiders as always. Yep.
It's going to be a great game today. Great. It is a great game. Second half, Fitchburg's going to come out, going to have them all figured out. We're looking at a win.
Thank you very much. Now I'm going to pass off to
Joining me today is Principal Jeremy Roach and Andre Ravenel. So Principal Roach, it's your first time being here as a Fitchburg High principal. What do you think about our experience here?
Oh, it's extremely exciting. It's a tremendous turnout. To be honest with you, it's a great honor just to be a part of it, and hopefully we get the win at the end.
Superintendent Ravenel, what do you think about this year's turnout compared to other past years?
I think the turnout is great. I'm looking at the stands on both sides, and I'm glad to say there are stands now on the visitor side. But it's just packed with blue and red and gray, and it's very exciting. So I think it's a spectacular turnout for a great game. Hopefully a win for Fitchburg.
Hopefully we do get this win. Now joining me on this Thanksgiving game is Merrick Henry.
Hello, viewers at home. Merrick Henry here live with Mayor Lisa Wong and City Council Dolores Thibault Muniz. Now, both of you coming off your own little victory. Congratulations, by the way. What are your thoughts on a victory today for Fitchburg High?
This is going to be huge. I think our team has been working hard all year, so obviously I'm in my Fitchburg red. I've actually got 3 layers of red, so I'm going real deep into the red this year.
Excellent stuff. And how about you, Dolores?
I think anything's possible. I think the team is doing a great job. I think that I'm excited. This is my first game in Fitchburg, and I'm really excited, and I think this is going to be a tradition of mine and my family's. It's fun. They're doing a great job.
An incredible tradition to be a part of indeed. And now for more continuing live coverage, we go back.
like to announce the results of the can drive. In a really close result, Leominster picked up 3,555 cans. Fitchburg was 3,451 cans. So Leominster won the first year on the can drive. Congratulations, Blue Devil, and thank you for your generosity.
Okay, halftime activities have been completed, and we'll begin the second half in just a couple of moments. If you've just tuned in, the Red Raiders scored on a trick play, jumped off to a lead, and then the Blue Devils came back at the end of the first quarter. It was 8-7 Leominster, 8-7 Leominster, and 21-14 now. The couple of big plays. Jason Valera picking one up and running it into the end zone for a Leominster touchdown. And Fitchburg's defensive stand at the end of the quarter could be down by 14 right now, but they find themselves down by only 7 and getting the ball back. So I guess if you're Fitchburg, it could be worse.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it could be much worse, as we talked about right before the end of the half. But, good defensive stand right before the half. Gives Fitchburg some momentum coming out. Start the second half as they've been ready to go, and they're still waiting for Leominster to get ready. We did get some clarification on that controversial play that led to the Leominster second touchdown on the illegal man downfield. Apparently the officials are claiming that Rivera caught the ball behind the line of scrimmage.
Oh, jeez.
Which would make that okay to have guys downfield. There's no way he was behind the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes you're better off just not saying anything about a mistake, and I don't know. But sometimes the more you talk about it, the more you get
I
in trouble.
officiated, not football, but all those sports, and when you miss a call, you just got to say I missed a call.
Yeah.
Because the more you try to explain it, try to dig yourself out, the deeper the hole gets.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's on film, and you're going to be able to tell.
Blue Devils will kick it off to begin the third quarter, and we are underway. It's a line drive that sails over the head of Perkins all the way down to the 1 yard line. He'll bring it back. 5, 10, twisting, staying on his feet, 15. Near side, 20, and down he goes. Well, it looked like there was nothing there at all, and he managed to get 20 out of it.
And the Leominster kickoff team was very disciplined, staying in their lanes. A lot of times you see everybody float in the middle of the field. Watch 27. Look at him do his job. He stays to the outside, and he's the guy who's going to make the tackle. Because if he gets sucked up in the middle, that gives Perkins a big running lane around that near sideline.
Nice play.
And we like to give you his name, but he's not on the program. So Ed Reynolds. Makes his appearance.
Good play by Eddie. Connor Lemieux at quarterback for Fitchburg. Shotgun formation. He has Dimitri Brazili next to him. He throws, and it goes incomplete. Kind of threw behind Tony O. We call him Tony O because I guess that's what the guys on the team do. But it's
Onakiku is his real last name. Apparently, the coaching staff, when he first started playing, had trouble pronouncing that, so they just called him Tony O.
I can understand why. At the 21-yard line. Low snap. Lemieux throws far side. Caught by Patel. Slips up to the 25-yard line. Short of the 25-yard line. And Fitchburg will have a third down at about 7.
A little flanker screen to the outside, but again, the Patel slips right here when he tries to make his cut, loses his momentum forward, and that allows the Leominster defensive players to come up and make the tackle.
So it's a third down and 7. That will bring Perkins into the game at quarterback. He gets the snap, comes near side, looking to cut. Does, but he stood up at the 28-yard line. He's going to be short of a first down by about 3. Fitchburg will have to kick it. Looking for a hole, cut back, and when you cut back like that, you're kind of running into people. And
well, again, the Leominster defense did a nice job. You saw, you just caught a little bit of Rivera, number 1, keeping that outside containment, not letting Perkins be outside.
Perkins will kick it. Good snap. Low kick, end over end. Takes a Fitchburg bounce. Leominster picks it up. Dangerous pickup, and down at the 40-yard line. Tackle was number 53, Tommy Duong. Dangerous pickup.
Dangerous, but if he you watch the Fitchburg players, they kind of slowed down and stopped.
Yeah.
And Sanders picks it up and almost catches Fitchburg a little bit napping.
Yeah, I still don't think I picked it up.
It worked out, but he didn't fumble it. But boy, if he muffs that and turns it over, he's got a lot of splaining to do on the far sideline.
First and 10 Blue Devils at their own 41-yard line as they begin their first drive of the second half. Aradeliki is the quarterback, I formation. Give this to the first man. That is Rivera. Pardon me, not Rivera.
It's O'Donnell, I think the fullback.
Was it O'Donnell?
41.
It was. That was Shane O'Donnell. And O'Donnell gets a yard, second down and 9. very nice crowd here today, isn't it?
Well, Mr. C's still doing a bang-up business at the concession stand.
Got to keep him busy. 2nd down and 9. I formation behind Delakiai, goes back to pass. Pump fake, throws far alongside. It is incomplete.
Nope.
Or did he? Yeah.
No, went right through his hands.
Not a bad pass by Delakiai. Well covered by the Red Raiders. Here it is, the pump fake. And then
looked like
Garrett
he had some separation, but nice catch-up speed by Perkins, able to deflect it, and Sanders unable to bring it in.
Wasn't a bad pass. Yep. Good defensive play by Quentin Perkins.
Just the athletic ability of Quentin Perkins to closing speed on that throw.
3rd down and 9 for the Blue Devils. Let's see what Dave Palazzi has in mind. Just underway in the 2nd half here at Crocker Field. Beautiful Crocker Field. 3rd and 9. Delakiai back to pass. Throws far side. It is caught at the 40-yard line. 35 down to about the 32-yard line.
We might have offensive pass interference here, as it might have been a pick play, as Perkins kind of got rubbed off by another receiver, and
watch this, because it's going to be coming back.
There's 2 Leominster receivers. And
number 21 of the offense.
Yeah, there's a pick play right there.
Oh, yeah. 2nd down.
Yeah, Perkins had no chance to get the ball at all. So that brings it back. And it brings up a 3rd down and
a long way.
About 20. 3rd down at about 20. So there's a big play. But clearly, as you saw, Mike, it was like he was guarding somebody in basketball.
In real time, I was looking for the flag, and I didn't see it come out right away.
Third down and long, 3rd and 20, let's mark it, at the Blue Devil 26-yard line. Blue Devils still leading, 21-14. And whistles took too long.
It'll be 3rd and 30 now.
They looked a little confused over there, and the clock kept going down. And took a little bit too long. Gets the flag and goes back another 5.
Oh, ball all the way back to the Leominster 21-yard line. They have to get to the Fitchburg 49 to get a 1st down, so 30 yards.
Sun right in Delakiai's face in this 3rd quarter for the Blue Devils. 3rd and long, goes back to pass. Heads out far side, throws, and incomplete. The intended receiver was Kevin O'Connor. It was a bit short. He would have had to catch that out of bounds, and it goes in. Leominster will kick.
Well, as that non-flag in that 1st half led to a Leominster drive, that pass interference really changed things around here. Instead of having a 1st down in Fitchburg territory, they lose a bunch of yards and now have to kick it from their own 10.
Good snap. Pretty good kick. Away from Perkins. Smart thing to do. Goes out of bounds right at the 42-yard line. Nice play, special teams, Blue Devils.
Well, I'm sure that was a theme during practice the last couple of weeks about punting the ball away from number 1.
And so far, they've done a nice job.
Oh, yeah.
That one practically hit out of bounds on the fly.
You would have to wonder why anybody would kick it to him.
A lot of times it's by mistake.
Yep.
Good field position here for the Red Raiders. 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line. It's again tough to see the clock because the sun is right at it. It appears to be about 6:20. Here's Perkins. Near side trying to get around. 45. Knocked down at the 50-yard line. Going to be short of a 1st down by about a yard. 9-yard pickup by Perkins. Second down and about a yard.
Just a direct snap, and he got banged pretty good as he went to the sidelines, and will not be in for this play.
Can't see him on the sideline. Being
he's bent over right in front of us.
See him, yep. Needs a breather. Little sneak by Lemieux, and he gets a first down. Perkins heading back into the lineup. Tonio heads out. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. What a nice crowd today, though, as we look around. Nice to see a big crowd at Crocker Field. First down play, back to passes Lemieux. Rolling out, he's in trouble. Gets away from one. Trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and he's going to be about a yard or two shy of that. He's going to lose a yard on the play. Good pursuit by the Blue Devils. Actually, his loss of about 3, 2nd and 13.
Yeah, really nothing there. Lemieux was, fortunate to scramble to the outside and try to make something happen, but Leominster did a nice job of forcing him to the sideline. As you mentioned, a loss of a couple yards where he was knocked out of bounds. Perkins back in at quarterback.
He will be at quarterback in the shotgun formation, heading to the right side. He got some steam. 40, 30, 25, and some help. That'll be a first down for Perkins and Fitchburg. That time he hit the hole with a lot of speed, and right here he takes off.
It looked like here when he popped through that hole there he might go, but I think it was Kevin O'Connor, 17, who comes in from his defensive back position to make the tackle.
Nice play by Kevin O'Connor, just slowing things down. And Fitchburg has a player down. I believe that's Perkins.
I believe it's a cramp. The way he's grabbing that foot.
Well, we have a little break in the action here. Can we find out from our friends down in the booth whether if we've got a replay here tonight of this game? How about a replay of the game tonight?
It's okay. We'll take a look at it again.
There's the replay.
This is again a nice play by O'Connor, and then at the end of the play, Perkins did get up, but then that cramp set in.
So we have no replay scheduled for tonight. Is that correct? Okay. Stay tuned to your local listings if there is a play.
Game and time in your area.
The last score we heard, kind of interesting, was a Gardner 7 and Oakmont nothing. That was at half. What did John say about Gardner? I didn't hear. John McGurk here from the Worcester Telegram and Gazette working.
14-0 Wildcats.
14-0 Gardner. What a year they've had. There's Perkins going out.
Another surprising score. The Guardians of St. Peter Marion ahead of St. John's, 14-7.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's one severe cramp that Quentin Perkins has.
Those cramps, man, they hurt.
A little unusual. Usually in this kind of weather, you don't see a lot of cramping going on. But
well, of course, we're just guessing it's a cramp. It looks like a cramp.
Yeah.
And Alan Twomley try to work it out. Red Raiders at the 24-yard line. That's the Leominster 24-yard line. Lemieux back to pass. Throws. Incomplete and almost picked off. Good pass. It was right there for Miles, and it went right in the hand of a Leominster defender, and he could have gone a long way.
Yeah, watch it. It goes right through Miles' hands, and Kevin O'Connor almost picked it up on the rebound, and all he had was about 80 yards of green grass to the Fitchburg goal line.
So that will bring up a second down. And 10 for Fitchburg. At about the 24-yard line, Lemieux's give is to Brazili, who goes nowhere. At the line of scrimmage, Rashon Ventura made the stop. And very quickly, it's now 3rd down and 10. And you just see how valuable Perkins is.
Well, obviously, yeah, we'd see Perkins more than likely. It would have been in the shotgun situation, but maybe he's not available right now, so who's ever out there's got to step up.
3rd and 10. Lemieux going to keep it himself. Goes right up the middle. That didn't get anywhere. Sean Addo made the stop, and it brings up a 4th down and 9. Fitchburg might do well taking a timeout here, Mike, and getting things settled down. I know you hate to waste timeouts, but I think you could use one right here.
I would think you would want to try to find a play here that you have confidence in at least have getting a shot at making that 9 yards.
Yeah, that'll give Perkins another minute. Pad snap, but Lemieux did a nice job bringing it back, throws it long and deep, and it is intercepted. And, you know, that's just as good a play, Mike, because they do take Leominster back at the 6-yard line.
It's almost a mental error by the Leominster defender. You were better off just knocking that ball down and taking the ball where it was instead of taking it inside your 10. But, you know, when you're back there playing defense, especially when you're in high school, the heck with that, I'm taking the interception.
So it was. So Leominster did get the ball back. You said 4th down anyways. You had to really be thinking quick to knock that ball down.
Right. So it's easy up here to think of that.
Yeah. A lot of things are easy up here. At the 7-yard line, 1st and 10. Handoff, and this is where Fitchburg's defense has got a pop here. Rivera was stopped on the play by Anthony Delagano.
Good job by Delagano to get off his block, shift to the outside, and make the tackle on Rivera for almost a 2-yard loss.
Tyler Robar was in there as well. It is a 2-yard loss. 2nd down and 12. Move the ball back to the 7-yard line. Make that the 6-yard line. Delakiai back to pass, throws, and it's almost intercepted. The intended receiver was Kyle Sanders, and that ball popped up in the air, and a Red Raider had a pop at it, but couldn't bring it down. We've seen a lot of those.
Yeah,
today.
Sanders running a quick slant, hit a ball thrown a little bit high, couldn't make the catch, and Connor Lemieux, who was there playing defensive back, almost had a gift into his hands. And Sanders a little banged up as he limps off. Actually, he stayed in the game, but he's pretty gingerly going out to his wide receiver position.
3rd down and 12. Deep in Leominster territory for the Blue Devils. Delakiai back to pass.
Wow.
And doesn't get anywhere. So the Red Raider defense holds, and they should get the ball back in pretty good shape. That was almost a safety, Mike, as that ball is placed at the 1-yard line.
Yeah, it was a deep handoff to Rivera, who was about 7 yards deep, and Bailey got it back out to the 1. And that'll force the Leominster punter to be Ryan Moran, will be his heels just inside the goal line.
Yeah. Brazili will await the kick. Kick is away. Takes it, and Brazili gets away from it wisely, as he would have taken a shot there. But Fitchburg's in great field position here. They're going to mark it at the 34-yard line. That's the Leominster 34-yard line.
We take a look at Quentin Perkins down on the Fitchburg bench. He's back on his feet, still trying to stretch out that problem he has where it looks like his right leg.
So He looks a little bit better now than he did 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I don't think you don't want to put him in back too early because if it's not fully stretched back out, he's just going to re-cramp it. And just
somebody take a time? No, he didn't take a timeout. Fitchburg at the 34-yard line. Lemieux in there at quarterback. Sends a man in motion to the far side. Fake give. Lemieux's got it. Keeps it over the 35 down to about the 33-yard line. He was brought down on the play by Kevin O'Connor, number 17.
Tried a little misdirection play with Miles running back across the formation, took the fake, and then Lemieux keeps, and I believe that's the end of the third quarter.
Wow.
That is the end of the third period.
So to all you folks out there that all you people out there who play these games just for the heck of good fun,
entertainment purposes only.
You know, yeah. I feel like Fred Gwynn in that movie. What was it? Utes?
Oh yes, that was My Cousin Vinny.
My Cousin Vinny. Did you say Ute?
Ute.
What's a Ute? So, for all you folks out there, Leominster at the end of the first quarter led 8-7. That's 8-7. And at the end of the half, it was 21-14, and that's what it is now. So somebody just won a lot of cookies.
So if you have that 1-4 number, you've won.
You've won some.
Two twice, and you've won two valuable gift certificates.
Well, I think the problem right now for Fitchburg is you've seen that they've had the ball without Quentin Perkins, and they've been unable to move the ball.
And he is back.
Fitchburg will have a 2nd down and 9 at the Leominster 33-yard line. Blue Devils lead in the ball game 21-14 as we enter the last 10 minutes of the ball game. Perkins, right side, hopping around, leaning forward to about the 30. He'll be short of a first down by about 6.
Yeah, that cramp grabs again.
Still gimping off. I don't know if it's a... And Fitchburg's going to take a timeout, I believe. Or is that an official timeout?
I think they took an official's timeout just to let Perkins get to the sideline.
Bill Goslin is wondering... well, I guess they're going to whistle it back in now.
Yep. I think the Leominster sideline was inquiring why they stopped the clock.
3rd down and about 5 for the Red Raiders. Lemieux calling signals in the shotgun as he has most of the afternoon. Goes back to pass. Looking to throw. A flag goes down and it gets deflected. Incomplete, but this apparently is going to go against the Red Raiders. It's a hold against Fitchburg.
Flag came out kind of late. It really didn't come out until after the Leominster player kind of looked at the referee.
That's
and said,
exactly
hey.
what happened.
I don't know if we could pick it up. You'll see the...
offense, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
I'm not sure that was a hold.
Well, good selling job by the lineman.
Yep.
And De Palazzi will take the penalty.
Looked to me that Kelvin Rivera just did a nice job of riding that defensive lineman right past his quarterback.
They'll place the ball at the 40-yard line. 3rd down, they got to get down to about the 24. So let's mark it 3rd and 16. Lemieux, back to pass again. Throws it. It's caught by Como. A flag goes down. And Como goes down at about the 30-yard line, but that might be a late hit, Mike.
It might be roughing the passer. Yep.
Passer.
34
defense.
First down.
15 yards from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Well, we'll see if we can get a picture of that, guys. We'll see if he gets a little roughed up after this play. There's Lemieux going back. We don't
we'll
see
lose it, but you saw the Leominster defender. He took 2 or 3 steps after the ball was released.
Down at the 30, but the penalty is going to move things around here. It's going to give Fitchburg an automatic first down at the 15-yard line of Leominster. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Red Raiders at the 15-yard line. Lemieux going to cut it up the middle himself. Twist for about 3. Once again, Kevin O'Connor, amongst others, in on the tackle for the Blue Devils. Also there was Sean Addo.
Nice job by Lemieux. He was almost stopped at the line of scrimmage, but did a nice job of breaking that initial tackle, spinning in the middle, and leaning forward for a gain of 3.
At the 12-yard line. Lemieux gives it to Brazili, and the Leominster defense comes up big. Might have lost a yard on the play. The Fitchburg offense really is like night and day. Coach Cosenza looks back at Perkins, and I don't think he's ready to go at all, and
nope.
Neither does Coach. So unfortunate there for the Red Raiders. I think 2 down territory, though, for Fitchburg. 3rd down at about 8. Lemieux has it. Throws near side. Caught by Patel, trying to make a move. And he is bumped back. Looked like he was going to lean forward, but Geraldo Rivera came up and gave him a nice shot there. Back to the 12-yard line. And that'll bring up a 4th down and about 6.
Timeout, Fitchburg.
Tried to get it out to Patel and tried to get him some space to run in, but the Leominster defense all over that play. Did get up a short game, but it's minimal at best, and it'll be a 4th and 6.
So the Red Raiders took a timeout here, and if you look at where Quentin Perkins is supposed to be, he is on the sideline, and I would say his availability for the rest of the ball game is questioned. He's been about 15 minutes trying to stretch that out without any luck at all.
Tried one play, did gain about 5 yards, but a cramp re-grabbed on the end of that play.
I don't know if it's a cramp or a hamstring, Mike. It's hard to say, but
because he didn't get a lot of medical attention, I'm going to say it's a cramp.
Yeah. So it'll be 4th at about 7 at the 25-yard line of Leominster High School. Lemieux looking things over. Gets the snap, goes back to pass. Has time, throws it up in the air, and it is incomplete. Kyle Sanders knocking the ball down. It goes incomplete. And Leominster gets the ball again. First down at their own 12-yard line.
Trying to find his big tight end, Eric Como, in the end zone on the crossing pattern. And nice play there by Kyle Sanders, a step in there. And that time he was better off catching it and getting a touchback. But should have just happy he knocked that away. And now Leominster will try to run some clock here with 6:33 to go here in the ballgame.
I don't know, is that a 6 or an 8?
That's a 6.
Can't tell. 6? Me and my bulbs just haven't. At the 12-yard line, first down and 10 for the Blue Devils. Delakiai rolls out far side, looks to throw, throws it, and it is almost intercepted. Nick Miles right in the hands, and he can't haul it in at the 35-yard line. Here's the young freshman who's played pretty well all year. That one was thrown right at him, and he couldn't come down with it.
Yeah, hit him right. You know, 2 receivers in the same spot and 3 red shirts. And Miles did a nice job cutting in front. Just didn't make the catch.
That will make it 2nd down at about 10 at the Leominster 12-yard line. Delakiai turns and gives. That's Rivera, I believe, getting up to about the 14-yard line. That was Rivera. Fitchburg defense has picked up the pace a bit.
I was just going to say the same thing. Since the Leominster 2nd touchdown, their defense hasn't given up anything. The 3rd Leominster touchdown was off an offensive fumble that they returned for the touchdown. But the defense has played great since early 2nd quarter.
Here's another 3rd down and 8 for the Blue Devils at their own 14-yard line. Under 6 minutes to play in the game. That's unofficial, and the Red Raiders trailing 21-14. Delakiai goes back to pass. Being chased down, and they dump Shredder, and it's almost picked off again. Strong pressure by the Red Raiders, and that ball was almost picked off by Anthony DePrima. So the defense has really picked it up for the Red Raiders.
Good pressure right away, forcing Delakiai out of the pocket, rolls to his right, and almost threw it into the waiting hands of Anthony DePrima, who would have walked into the end zone.
4th down, the Blue Devils will have to kick. Brazili back to receive the kick. Kick is away. Takes a Leominster bounce to the 49-yard line, and that's where Fitchburg will take over. 1st down and 10 at the Leominster 49-yard line. Boy, it's been 21-14 here for a long time, hasn't it?
So that's a scoop and score by Valera. Which is about 4 minutes to go in the half. You don't like my scoop and score in the truck? Come on.
I like it. Sure you do.
I stole that, by the way.
Well, that's what. There you go. Scoop and score. So we might read that tomorrow in the Telegram with John McGuirk here. Sentinel Enterprise representatives here as well. 1st and 10, Red Raiders. Blue Devil 49. Lemieux back to pass, has time, steps up and throws. And it's almost picked off by Rivera at the 35-yard line. That wanted to really zip it in there, Mike, and when he zipped it, the ball just kind of floated on him a little bit, went high.
Yeah, there wasn't a tight spiral, and it just sailed. Did have time to throw that time, though. The offensive line gave him plenty of time to survey downfield.
2nd down and 10. New back to pass, throws. It is caught at the 45, and that's it. They'll give him forward progress up to the 45. That was Nick Miles, the freshman. Looked like they whistled at about the 45-yard line, 46-yard line. The Red Raiders have a 3rd down at about 7, and I believe Fitchburg's got
down at 7. 2nd charge, timeout.
Fitchburg
Full
takes
timeout.
Timeout, as you heard. What a beautiful day here at Crocker Field before a very nice crowd. And so far, an excellent ball game. A lot of people enjoying it. The Blue Devils leading 21-14.
And very few people have left. There's going to be one massive traffic jam trying to get out of here.
Could be a traffic jam at the end. We saw Mayor Wong a little bit earlier on the field. She's up in the booth now. I don't think she's getting any warmer. It's not that bad out today.
It's actually lovely.
We're just thinking, you know, it will be a nice traffic jam afterwards, but that's okay. That's all right. Yep. There's the guys on the roof doing the work today. Darren up there, Billy up there. There's some extra outstanding work today by our crew. We do the easy part.
And we just sit and talk. It's nice and
great.
Yeah.
3rd and about 7 for the Red Raiders. And Fitchburg moved a little bit. Left side of the line. And that'll cost Fitchburg 5.
56 offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
So, I don't know if that changes up the play here or not, Mike. I don't know.
Well, 6.
Well, Lemieux's on the sideline right
5
now.
5 or 11 is pretty much the same play. What it does do, though, if they don't make it here, instead of going for it on 4th down, you would think with 4:47 that you would kick it away.
Right.
Try to pin Leominster down. And
3rd down and long. Lemieux back to pass. Throws it over, and it is intercepted. Picked off by Sean Addo. And the Blue Devils will take over 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line.
Well, somebody wasn't on the same page because there wasn't a red shirt anywhere near where that ball landed. So either Connor Lemieux was expecting his receiver to go to that area, or he made a mistake. Needless.
Full timeout, Leominster. Their first of the 2nd half.
So a turnover, and Fitchburg will have to rely on their defense now. And as I said, the defense has played very well. Can they do it again? I think the Blue Devils want a timeout here, and I think Dave Palazzi is saying, hey, our offense has got to start moving a little bit.
Yeah,
here.
they haven't done anything in the 2nd half offensively. I don't even know if they have a 1st down. You know, he's saying, okay, boys, a couple 1st downs and this game's over.
Pretty much, yeah. As the clock shows 4:38. That's unofficially in the ball game. As Mike said, most of the crowd has stayed with it today. Both sides, still a lot of red on this side, and across the way a lot of blue.
See a few people start sneaking to the exits, but
trying to get a little head start here.
That won't help. That won't help the aftermath.
1st and 10, Blue Devils. Rivera, right side. It looked like he was going to break away, Mike, and finally I think somebody just grabbed him by the shirt. Might have been 55. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, It was 55. There, right by the shirt. 2 hands on the shirt, too.
Kelvin Rivera.
Yeah, Rivera made a nice play. Maybe Dave Palazzi is thinking clock here.
Oh, I'm sure he is. He's looking for 1st downs. He doesn't need any. He knows he doesn't need any more points.
Approaches about 4 minutes to play in the ball game. 2nd down and about 6, right at midfield for the Blue Devils. There's Rivera again. Going to be short of a 1st down. It'll bring up a 3rd down and about 2. Fitchburg take a timeout.
Yep.
Fitchburg timeout.
22nd timeout, Fitchburg. 3rd timeout of the 2nd half.
So they got 2 left. And, you know, like you said, Mike, a couple of 1st downs and this ball game's over. He doesn't have to go back in the air anymore.
No, the only time you might see them throw is if they need to pick up a long 1st down, or they think they have a really safe pass play. But, you know, I keep giving it to number 1 until.
I would too, until he can stop him. 3rd down at about 2. I formation behind Delakiai. Rivera again, right side. Fitchburg looked like they held them up pretty good, and now they push him back.
Yeah, he's nowhere close to the 1st down.
So that will bring up a 4th down and a good long yard. Did Fitchburg take another timeout?
Nope.
I thought they did. It looked like somebody was signaling, but here's a big play right here. you get a first down, and that might be the ball game. Might need one more after that.
Well, they may not snap the ball either. They may come up and try to draw Fitchburg offside here. So I'm really surprised. If they snap, I'd be really surprised if they snap the ball. I would think they would want to make Fitchburg go, 80 yards here, rather than giving them a relatively short field.
Delicky is kind of looking towards that sideline, and I pay.
Nope, they didn't get it off.
The flag went up, but Dave Palazzi called timeout.
Yeah, they're going to pick the flag up, I think.
Yeah, clearly I saw Palazzi call timeout.
Timeout. Leominster. 20-second timeout.
Delicky kept looking to the sideline, and you saw Palazzi yell timeout, and then the flag came out.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that they told the side judge over there that we want a timeout, 1 second left on the play clock.
Yeah. So clearly that was what happened.
Well, they're going to come out in short yardage formation. Again, it remains to be seen whether they're going to snap the ball.
4th down and a long yard. They give it, and I don't think he made it.
Nope.
I don't think so. You got to be looking for a real good mark over there. That was Shane O'Donnell, and he did not make it. And Fitchburg will take over. We'll see the defense get in there.
Try to run a counter, and boy, 55. It was again Kelvin Rivera who
71.
just stood him up right in the hole and drove him back.
Well, the Raiders will take over. I'm going to see if I see Perkins. I don't see him on the bench, Mike.
He had his helmet back on. But he's not on the field. I don't see him out there. Yeah, nope, that's not him.
First down play. They're in big trouble now. Niles is going to be pushed out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Credit to the Leominster defense on that. That was a bust from the beginning, Mike.
Well, they tried. It was actually pretty much the same play. They ran the first play of the game for the touchdown. But Leominster had it well covered, and Miles has got, he's only a freshman. You got to just throw that ball away and save the yards. He lost almost 12 yards on the play.
Perkins is on the sideline. Now he's having his forearm looked at. Back to pass. Lemieux throws high and incomplete. Patel was the intended receiver. We saw somebody working on Perkins' arm on the sidelines. He is right there on the sidelines, helmet on. There's the pass. Patel went up, but couldn't bring it down. It brings up a 3rd down. And long. Back to pass. Lemieux throwing it long, deep, and it is incomplete. And will that bring up a 3rd down, Mike?
4th.
Yeah, the yard marker over there has not changed. And it brings up a 4th down. So, trying to think of what Coach Cosenza will do. I guess he's got to go for it now.
There aren't a lot of 4th and 22 plays in the playbook.
.2:13 to go in the game. Fitchburg's got a 4th and long. Lemieux fumbles, goes back to pass. In trouble. Got some room. Throws long, deep, and he throws it out of bounds. No, it's intercepted. Looked like he was just throwing away. It was picked off on the far side by Kyle Sanders. And that should just about do it with 2 minutes to play.
Well, again, another one of those you know, kind of mental errors. You should get another ball you should knock away.
There are 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. 2 minutes.
That snap right away kind of put the play in missed timing, and that just forcing it down the sideline. Hope that's kind of a hope it pass. And
yeah.
Sanders
I didn't know if he was inbounds. Apparently he was inbounds. Right at the Leominster sideline. So Delakiai getting some final instructions by Dave Palazzi. And just maybe hand that ball off to number 1 in the backfield a couple of times. You'll be all set. I formation. And there is Rivera. And he stays on his feet and picks up 9 yards, close to 10 yards.
Oh, Fitchburg reaching in to try to strip the ball loose. That kind of kept that run going, but that's what you got to do. Hope for a fumble here.
Well, the defense played a very good second half for Fitchburg. And
you can't, you know.
They look a little gassed.
I'm sure if you'd gone to Ray Senzer and said, okay, coach, here's the plan. The defense is only going to give up 14 points. He'd have said, I win that game every time.
And special teams gave up the other one.
Yeah, so the defense really is only giving up 2 touchdowns.
They will measure for the first down here, and if there's anything good to come out of that,
if you're Fitchburg, you actually want them to get it.
A little short.
Yep, so that's going to allow Leominster to run an additional play here.
That sends some people to off to the exits.
Including our limousine coming down the track right now.
It's a car wash. So it'll be 2nd and inches, and the whistle goes.
Fitchburg.
20-second timeout, Fitchburg. 3rd timeout.
I thought they had 1 left, but apparently they have 2.
They have 2 left.
Okay.
Unless Graphic has 1 left, but
that's what I thought. But I don't know. But Bill Goslin said that was their 3rd timeout, so that would be 2 left.
Although he just pointed to the sideline and put up 1 finger, I believe.
Okay. I think there's 1 left. Second down play. That'll be a first down as Rivera gets taken down by number 56 of the Red Raiders, Tyler Robar. Here it is.
Very nice job picking his way through that line of scrimmage to get the first down. And now Leominster will take their time.
Well, if you're one of those people who play those
square things,
you made out today.
if you have the 1-4 combination,
yeah, 1-4,
you're very excited.
Right. Yeah, because we have 1-4 at the end of the half. A rough play at the end there, but no flags. Fitchburg trying to strip the ball away, and Rivera getting up a little late. I think he kind of fell onto the ball.
Yeah, I think that's what happened. Is when it, if you watch here at the end of the play, when he gets knocked down, I think he lands right on the football.
He's still trying to go for it. Covered that ball up pretty good, didn't he? Down he goes. A little bit of help from Fitchburg's Tommy Duong. Timeout, Fitchburg.
Fitchburg, final timeout of the second half.
Do you know what happens with the playoffs?
Well, with the Leominster win, that makes them the #1 seed, so they will play the whoever comes out of the Shrewsbury-Wachusett 4 spot. And then Fitchburg would play St. John's, both games on Tuesday night. And from what we hear, at least Leominster will probably get a home game. I don't know if they'll play both games at Doyle Field that night, or I would imagine if there's a site closer to Worcester, St. John's would probably be the higher seed. Who knows with the MIA, but more than likely that I mean, it's unless we have a miracle finish here, Fitchburg will be playing the Pioneers again on Tuesday.
And the Blue Devils get either Wachusett.
They'll get Wachusett or Shrewsbury.
Teams that they defeated earlier.
And then the winner of Tuesday night's games will face each other Saturday at Gillette Stadium. Stay tuned for times. Times and sites will probably be announced tomorrow for Tuesday's games.
Second down at about 1, and the knee goes down. Very impressed with Garrett Delici today, Mike. Did a great job.
Didn't make too many big plays, but didn't make the big mistake either.
No, he didn't.
Ran the team offensive, efficiently, and they'll have to kneel down one more time. And the Blue Devils will get out of Crocker Field with a win.
Try to get Coach Kazenza's taking the headsets off. And they'll take a knee, and that should just about do it. So the Blue Devils have come into Fitchburg and gotten themselves a hard-earned victory. 21-14 will be the final score. And Coach Kazenza going over to the far side where he'll try to catch up with Dave Palazzi. They do shake hands. Now Coach's attention is trying to get his players together to walk through the line and give congratulations. There have been times
last year
where you haven't gone through the line shaking hands.
Well, last year Leominster won that game in overtime, and everybody spilled on the field down at that far end zone, and it got into a little messy situation. And this year, things are much calmer at the end of the game.
And there have been some incidents. There was one in Worcester last week, I believe, at a soccer game.
Yep, that wasn't even before the game. The game hadn't even ended yet.
And you see, you can see here, a lot of Fitchburg police officers have come around and keeping an eye on things, that we don't have any occurrence like that. If we could see Coach Kazenza on the sideline or not, Mike. I think he was kind of trying to get his team together. Quentin Perkins, tough, walking off very gingerly back to the locker room. Just couldn't overcome that injury or cramp or whatever it was, but Blue Devils have a nice ride home and get ready for the playoffs. 21-14 is your final. And, here are the folks that brought it to you. Wishing you all a happy Thanksgiving. All the volunteers, the folks here at Fitchburg High School, and John Dextrow's great job, Dave Svens, John Gugarty, there they are, Tim Doust. Our camera people, outstanding. I don't know about those two.
Those two clowns, I don't know about them.
Halftime, all of our sponsors. Final score here. Crocker Field was Leominster High School 21 and Fitchburg High School 14. Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody.